Hello again, and welcome to another episode of the Folding Towels podcast. We are so happy to be here and very happy that you're joining us today. I hope today's episode is not too controversial, David.
Oh, it doesn't need to be. This is something which affects us all, and it's something where we really need to get it right.
Yeah. So today we're talking about feedback and hopefully giving you some tips on not only responding to both positive and negative feedback, but maybe even giving you some tips on how to give feedback to others, maybe.
Yeah, I think the takeaway from this is that even though we're massage therapists, really we have a significant role in customer service. And customer
Yes.
service skills, they are gold.
Yes. Yes, they are. Oh my goodness. I actually want to start today's episode off with a possibly interesting and probably useless information story, David, if that's all right.
I know the story and it's not useless.
It's, it's quite interesting. And I think I learned about this only just recently, like in the last couple of weeks, by watching a Facebook reel. I was trying to remember yesterday where I learned this information. I'm pretty sure it was off a Facebook reel. So thank you, Facebook. Um, in around 2018, United Airlines, which are a company out of the USA, decided that as a cost-cutting measure, that they would make changes to their in-flight magazines. And so what they did was they reduced the GSM of the paper that they used in all their in-flight magazines by 29 grams per page. And now that is like a teeny tiny amount, but they decided to make this change to all of the paper that they used in the planes. So all of the magazines, all of the cards that they have that give the safety instructions, all that sort of stuff. And so in the US, 28 grams is 1 ounce for those of you in the US, a teeny tiny amount. And now for an average 737 flight, it comes out to a saving of 11 pounds or 5 kilos of weight. And I was astounded when I was reading these numbers, David. I thought, wow, that's actually quite a lot considering, you think, oh, it's paper, doesn't really weigh much. It's, a few grams. But for literally thousands of flights across the US per day, the savings that they made were upwards of 170,000 gallons or 654,000 litres per year, which amounts to about 290,000 US dollars or 357,000 Australian dollars per year, which is like insane numbers for making one teeny tiny change, David.
It's it just goes to show that a small change can make a really big difference.
Yeah.
But do you know what I love about this story? It's that
What?
often companies make changes solely for fiscal benefit with little consideration to the customer or to the bigger picture. Like when Cadbury reduced the size of their block of chocolate from 250 grams to 220 grams to 200 grams, and they kept the price the same. And whilst this particular story doesn't have a cost saving, it does have a cost saving effort to it. It's also quite a significant environmental impact. They haven't eliminated their environmental impact, but it is a big step in the right direction. And if someone were to say we're doing this just to save money and they didn't pass the savings on, I'd be a bit bummed. I guess for one person, you say you're saving 30 grams. So what cost saving would you actually pass on? Here's 10 cents towards your flight. But they're actually doing this as well for greater benefit, for global benefit. And with that sort of effort, I'm totally on board.
Same, absolutely. I was honestly astounded at those numbers. I was like, that for one teeny tiny change, that is a significant amount of savings every year. And I can't believe that they have like it's like 4,500 flights. This is in 2018, mind you, across the US per day. I was like, that has to be wrong, but it's not.
It's a big country.
That's a lot. That's a lot of people flying, David.
It's a lot of people flying.
It is. Anyway, hopefully that is something to contemplate with how you can sometimes make small changes in your business, but they have really big impact. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
I love Deep Impact.
Are you talking about that movie?
Well, that was a bit of a bummer, that one.
Hey, come on, it's got Taylor Leone in it, and she's awesome. I actually love that movie.
It's got the Hobbit in it or something, doesn't it?
There's lots of people in that movie. It's really good. I love all sci-fi, and yeah, don't you disparage Deep Impact. That's a great movie.
Much preferred Armageddon.
Oh, yes. Yes, another good one. I mean, they're all terrible, but
They are all terrible.
but they're awesome.
All right, we're off topic already.
There we are. Well, feedback isn't just about reviews, but the bulk of this episode will probably be about responding to reviews. We're going to talk about all sorts of feedback today, and we invite you to ponder on how you give and respond to feedback. So let's get
Yeah.
started, David.
Yeah, I feel that in Western culture, we're really poor at giving and receiving feedback. I think we're really afraid of offending people to start with, and so we either just don't say anything, or like the urge to give some feedback builds up, and so we just give it really poorly, and you end up offending someone anyway. So those who do spend up, those who do speak up, they often tend to be confrontational. And then the receiver, they do take offense, and often this feedback is coming with no warning. Uh, and our tendency is to give feedback only when we receive bad service. And even then, we might even just choose to say nothing. We might just talk behind somebody's back and tell our friends, I don't go there because they did this thing." And so the business owner will never ever know until their business drops away because of the background chatter. And the same goes for exceptional service. We often won't say when we've had really great service unless it's absolutely remarkable. Then we might rave about it to friends, but still not tell the business owner. And you think about the number of times that someone has had their massage, and you say how you're feeling at the end, and they just go, "Oh yeah, it was all right." Okay, I don't know what to do with this information. Is it, it was all right, I really loved it? Is it all right, I really hated it? Is it somewhere in between? Yeah, it was all right.
There really is an art to giving constructive feedback to someone.
In another episode, we've actually pre-recorded an episode which we'll release a little bit after this one. We had a chat with Paul Averill, and he talked about one of his mentors giving feedback always with love, even when it was harsh criticism, always giving feedback with love. And that's a lost art. It really
It
is.
is. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah. So when it comes to giving negative feedback, we often just don't know how to give it compassionately. And so the outcome is often to respond aggressively. So if you go and read the reviews of any business, just have a look at those negative reviews, and you would just see that it's like 1 star. Like this person put the fork on the wrong side of the table. 1 star. I'm absolutely appalled. And the review is just out of frustration.
Yes. There's a thing in I guess in because I do read a lot of romance. I love to read, and I do read a lot of romance. And there's a bit of a thing in the romance world of reviews of people who obviously are not going to enjoy the book because there are, smutty scenes in it or whatever, and who should not have picked up the book in the first place. And other people who enjoy that stuff in their literature actually find those reviews helpful because then the person has actually hated the book and left a review saying, oh, it was terrible, there are too many sex scenes, like what happened to the plot. But people that don't want the plot, that want to read about the smut, they use that and they go, oh, okay, this is actually going to be a good book for me. So a negative
Yeah,
review is not always a bad thing.
correct. It just means there's an expectation gap.
Yes, yes, yeah.
Mm.
Have you been to student clinic and been asked to provide feedback to the student that you just got a service from, David, that you
Yeah,
just
it's
had
always
that
awkward.
massage with? It's so hard, isn't it? It's like, oh my God, How do you do that?
Yeah, I
And
don't want to break their heart or their spirit.
yes,
And I
I've
know they'll benefit from the feedback.
I've left a couple of student clinic massages, and I have to say they were probably early on, not at the end of their qualification. And I've just gone, oh, they're terrible. Like I just didn't even know what to say. They were just, oh, this is terrible.
I need to tell you this. This is not in our planning, but I need to tell you this because of my own experience as a student in clinic. And on my very first day, and you get those feedback forms, and I'm reading through my feedback forms, and mostly people just tick the exceptional box.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't write anything, they just tick the exceptional box. I'd given
Yeah.
6 massages that day, and I was like, oh, everyone's giving me 5-star reviews. I'm amazing. It's my first day as a student therapist. I'm amazing. And then I got to the one which had some feedback.
Oh no.
And the therapists have gathered around because they knew who this person was. It's like, I can't believe they gave you this person on your first day. That's not fair. She's really difficult. She's got high expectations. They shouldn't have given you. And I've read this review and my soul was crushed.
Oh no.
Anyway, on my very last day of student clinic, I went back to read that review and it wasn't actually that bad. And it was actually some very helpful feedback, which I dismissed for a year and a half. I dismissed this feedback, and it was around rhythm and how this
Oh.
person had come in for a relaxation massage. And one of the things which is really important to her was the rhythm and consistency of the
Mm-hmm.
rhythm of the massage. And I just wish that my buddies hadn't been around my shoulder talking in my ear about, oh my God, you've got the worst person ever. And they've given you some bad bad feedback. And like, no, it's one of the most helpful pieces of feedback I ever received.
Yes, that is such an important point, isn't it? Because we think things are negative sometimes, but they might not be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. That's an awesome story. I love it.
I'll go and fish out. I've kept my feedback. I'll go and fish it out. We'll take a photo of it and put it up on the socials.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah, I love it. Let's do that. We're going to talk more about that in a little bit. That whole is it positive, is it negative, and what the hell is constructive feedback?
Yeah.
We're gonna discuss that a bit more after. Um, but feedback does come in several forms, and it could be verbally from your client at the end of the treatment when they say, "Oh my God, that was amazing! I feel so good." Or at their next treatment when they come in and they say the same thing. I loved, I slept so well. It could be from a client's partner or friend, could be in the form of a review that someone's left you on Facebook or Google. It could also be in the form of a complaint via email. That does happen sometimes.
It does.
Oh.
Yeah. There's if you follow Reddit, I don't have a Reddit account, but every now and then I think these things pop up on Facebook. And there is a Reddit handle called AITA. It's Am I the Arsehole? Where people share these stories and like something that's happened to them and how they've responded. And then they seek a response to the response, seeking validation. Like, did I do
Mm.
wrong here, or did I do the right thing? Am I the asshole in this situation?
The response is nearly always yes, you are,
I think if you
unfortunately.
have to ask, you probably are.
I actually love the ones where the response is no, you're not. So it's NTA instead of YTA. And the person, like everyone in the comments, is like, no, you are completely vindicated. The other person in the story is the asshole. And yeah, I love reading some of those.
You know what I would probably do is I'd take that response, which proves that I'm not the asshole, and then I'd show it to the person, and they'd just be like, "You're the asshole for showing me that now."
I often wonder what happens. I want to know the follow up. What
Yeah.
happened? Did they get divorced? Are they still best friends?
Are they still employed?
Yeah, I need to know. There needs to be a follow up
Yeah.
Reddit
Did
thread
someone
for
spit in their
those.
food? Hey, Jackie, have you ever asked your clients for feedback? Like deliberately asked?
Yes, I
Yeah.
have.
What have you done?
Um, I have reached out to a few people individually over the years, and said, hey, I think I might be having an issue or something. Can you tell me, and obviously it's people that I have massaged, and said, can you give me some feedback on your experience with me? And basically, why did you leave me?
Yeah, it's really important feedback.
It is. It is. And look, a lot of the time the response is just, look, I moved away, like I moved to a different suburb, or you're just too far away, or, like I just can't afford it. Like I've
Mm,
never received negative feedback from any of my clients that I have connected with and asked, can you tell me about your experience? It's always been
mm.
positive, which I don't know if that's helpful or not, but I guess it's good.
Yeah. I think it's important to understand that there's nothing wrong with your service. So if someone hasn't
Hmm.
returned, it's not necessarily personal. And we often do take it personally. Why hasn't this person come back? Did I do something wrong? And dwell on that. And to get a bit of closure, I think that's important. And more importantly, maybe you did do something wrong. Wouldn't you like to know?
I don't know. Depends what the thing was that you did.
Yeah. I ran a survey back in 2018, I think it was, and I sent it out to all my clients. Uh, and they had the opportunity to put their name to it if they wanted a follow-up phone call, but mostly the responses came back as anonymous. And I asked about who was your therapist. I had staff at that time. Who was your therapist? Did they address your needs? What did you think of our room? And the experience. And then I asked the question, would you recommend us to your family and friends? And what could we do better? And mostly the response was pretty positive. Those who were regulars, mm, on the whole, those who are regulars left feedback, and you kind of have with good authority if there's someone who's coming back to see you time and time again, you're probably doing a good job. But I did learn a few things, and specifically, this was when I had my practice down at the chiropractor, and there was one person who gave feedback. Maybe there were a couple. One was about the ambience and the room. Having a massage room next to a chiropractor with a drop table, and the entire day you just hear bang, bang, bang. And this person had come in for a relaxation massage and just claimed, I did not feel relaxed at all. I also had a cafe on the other side and they grind the coffee and bang the group head.
Oh, yes.
But also in this practice, the walls did not go to the ceiling. Any conversation could be heard in the room. And likewise, any conversation in the massage room could be heard outside of it. So there's a physio sharing the practice who was very loud and would discuss all manner of personal things at high volume. And we could hear everything that was going on. And that was pointed out more than once that this is quite unprofessional.
Yeah. Yeah. That's unfortunately, that's really something you didn't have a lot of control over. You can't just magically make the walls go to the ceiling all of a
Mm,
sudden.
yeah, but we covered this back in around choosing your practice location and
Mm,
the expectations of having a massage room is one of those things is privacy for private conversations, and that
yeah.
just highlighted that I was not in a compliant location.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it's good that you learned something from that, David. And surveys can actually be a good way for you to find out some information about your business that you otherwise don't know. I've had the thought over the years that, if you've got systems that are hard to navigate, booking systems, your website, if people are trying to book in and they can't, the feedback then becomes you're not getting bookings and you probably don't know. So, doing a survey and asking those questions about some basic things that you have to do or your clients have to do to either book in an appointment or pay you can be really important.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Getting feedback from people really is a gift. It is gold.
it is. It is. It's
Mm.
so important.
So in massage, probably the most common grievance it's simply about pressure. It's an expectation gap, which probably means that there wasn't enough communication between the therapist and the client to set expectations at the very beginning.
That is so true. This is such an important point. And personally, I also think that this is a little bit of a customer education point that as a community of massage therapists, we need to work on. So, my advice is always don't take it personally when this happens because you get so many people coming in and going, oh, I really love deep tissue massage. Like, I love lots of firm pressure, and you can go harder. And it's like, oh, okay, calm down a minute. But yeah, it can be a bit of a tough experience when you're putting your heart and soul into your massage business and then your clients go, yeah, it's okay. It's all right.
Mm. Being a massage therapist and receiving massage, there's been times when I've been on the table and thought, "Oh, I'd really like it if they went a little bit harder." But then I've got the knowledge that they have education and I've communicated to them the areas and the result expectation that I'm looking for. So I'll give them the benefit of the doubt and just see if doing what they're doing here, which is not necessarily the pressure that I wanted, is actually effective. And often the times is, yes, it is effective. They've just approached it differently to how I would do it.
Yeah, you know how much that I love massage, David. And this is one thing that I actually found a little bit difficult over the years, was to get out of my own training and get out of my therapist brain and just let the other person work without mentally critiquing everything they did. I don't know if anyone else has this problem, but I don't do it anymore. But in probably for about 5 or 6 years, I was like, "Oh, this is terrible. This is terrible." And it was a great massage. There's nothing wrong with it. But my education, my therapist brain just wanted to go, "Oh no, they're doing that wrong. They're doing that wrong." And then I realized nobody else is like me, so of course they're going to be different. So yeah, I don't know if you had that problem as well, David.
Uh, I've actually had massage therapists come in to see me who then try to coach me along the way about exactly
Oh,
what they're asking for. And it's an interesting dynamic. And often I'll take what they're saying well, and then sometimes I just need to be blunt and say, hey, look, I didn't go to the same school as you. Of course, my massage style is going to be different to you, but this is what you're looking for. This is how I'm going to address it. Can you just let me treat you?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. We have to remember because we say to our clients all the time, every single one of my clients is different. So I'm going to tailor what they need individually. We have to remember that when we're getting the treatments as well.
Mm,
So, yeah.
yeah. It is a common complaint if you start to look at some of the massage Facebook groups where massage therapists is just going, I just can't find anyone who meets my expectations. So maybe you need to change your expectations. Not lower them, but just maybe you need to change your expectations.
I feel very attacked right now, David. I've literally said that this actual calendar year in a Facebook group. And then I had somebody who I know who works who we both know, and who is a trainer here in Adelaide and is a wonderful human being, reach out to me and go, "Hey Jackie, do you want a massage? Like, I'll do it, you know."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yes, thank you. That would be amazing." So, and it was.
I look at some of those posts and go, do I really want to offer my services to that person? Are they going to
Mm,
talk shit about me as well?
yeah, yeah, definitely.
That's a very brave thing for that person to do. And I think I know who it was. He had a fantastic experience.
Yes, yes. Mr. Raphael Bukata, I hope I've said that correctly, who teaches it. It's AIF, isn't
Yeah,
it?
that's right.
In Adelaide. Yeah, he's
And
wonderful.
just to go back to our referrals episode, I think it was episode 7. Raf, I sent you a client this week.
Good work, David.
Yep. Refer when you should,
Always.
because it's the right thing to do.
Absolutely.
That's actually
Okay.
really good feedback for a therapist is when someone actually trusts you enough to send someone to you.
It is, and it's like it's so good that you can go, oh, that person knows the kind of clients that I like or the type of service that I offer, and they're sending me the correct person. Yeah, that is good feedback. Means it's all working well.
All right, let's move on to Google reviews.
We probably should. Okay, so my personal opinion on this subject is that you should always respond to every Google review or Facebook review that you get, no matter what. Um, and so the reason for that is so that people can see that you are aware of the reviews, that you are then being thoughtful, kind, and professional, regardless of what has actually been said. And if the reviews are sort of a bit more negative rather than positive, then people looking at those reviews can go, oh, well, this person's being the bigger person. They're being very respectful and professional. Um, and look, honestly, a lot of the time it's just a case of responding with, oh, thank you so much, Greg or Jenny or whoever it is. We love having you in clinic and we love that you're feeling so much better, or a variation of that. And it's so easy to just go, thank you so much, insert name here. We love, thank you for your feedback. We appreciate it. Like it's so easy to do that. And I think you should do that every single time. The trouble comes when you have to respond to the negative or more negative feedback. I don't want to say it's all negative because it's not. But yeah, what should what are we going to do then if it's a mid-level review and it's a bit, I don't know, maybe 3 stars or 4 stars when you were expecting a 5-star response? Because I've had that experience once where one of my friends left me a 4-star response instead of a 5-star one. I'm like, was that an accident?
Mm,
I didn't ask them though. It's fine. It's totally fine. But so if you've got like a mid-level review and the massage therapist is okay, not my best experience, but not my worst, that's totally okay. It shows that you're human and maybe you're not for everybody, which is totally okay. You still want to respond, you still want to say thank you, let them know that you're willing to do better next time if you can, if that's the way that they've asked you to address it. And so I want to actually give a little story here as well, about being a very small business, a micro business. And so I've had a review left on my Google page, David, about a year ago from a man who left me a 4-star review saying that his wife booked him in for a 90-minute massage on his birthday, and I like, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that review. Like, that was fine. And normally, if that was one of my clients, I would say, oh, thank you so much. Really glad you enjoyed it. Happy birthday, something like that. The problem is, I know all of my clients, and that person is not my client. So I thought about it for about a week, and then I'm like, okay, I've got to respond to this. And my response was along the lines of, oh, so glad you had a wonderful massage experience, but this wasn't me. And, and I basically said, if you would like to turn that into a 5-star review, we'd love to have you on the table. And, you know, that was sort of it. But he didn't respond to that. I assume he hasn't seen it. Um, but yeah, so interesting things happen on Google reviews.
mm, yeah, they sure do. Yeah, I've got a 2-star review from someone I've never seen before.
Yeah,
And
wow.
uh, when you've got a booking system, you can look names up. And
Yeah.
when someone leaves you a Google review, often it's in their name. So I've looked this person up and went, someone's left me a 2-star review. Like, who are you? And it's no one I know. And
Oh,
this person leaves bad reviews for lots of people on Google. Because you can check the reviews that people leave as well in other
yeah.
businesses. And I responded to say, I'm sorry you've had a bad experience with me. I have no record of treating you. I'd love to know what your experience is. Please contact me on this number, and here's my email address. I'd love to hear what your experience was and how I might resolve this.
Yes. Yeah. That is a tricky one, but responding like that means that you're putting that feedback in context, because a lot of people read Google reviews before they go places, before they book appointments at
Mm.
businesses. And if you do get a review that kind of says, hey, your business sucks a bit,
Yeah.
um, giving that context and say, well, actually, this person, I don't know this person, you've never been here. That puts that review in context. So they're either doing that for, I don't know, why would you give false Google reviews? I have no idea.
Mm.
But yeah, it puts that in context. And if you're factual, if you are calm and polite, you're not lashing out at the client, um, it can be quite helpful for other people. So yeah.
Yeah. This person never responded to my response, and so I lodged it with Google, which you can do. You can raise poor Google reviews directly with Google because Google doesn't want people leaving misinformation.
Mm.
They want to have credibility. Anyway, they came back to me to say that it was within their rules and regulations. I think it's because it was just a 2-star review only and no words, absolutely no words.
Oh,
They can't
okay.
actually challenge whether this person's experience was good or bad or whatever.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense if they've not actually left like a written response
Yeah,
and it's just the star rating. Yeah.
because sometimes I'll get a phone call from a prospective client and they're all flustered on the phone already. It's like, I can't get in to see you and I need to book an appointment. So yeah, it's because I'm booked out for kind of 3 weeks in advance. I need to get you to see you on a Saturday. It's urgent. So, well, I've got time available today. No, it has to be a Saturday. I'm sorry, I can see you in 2 months' time on a Saturday. I seem to see you this Saturday. They're just flustered.
That
Let
that's
me
one of
refer you to someone who I know who has some space.
that is so hard when clients message you or call and they go, like, I'm available at 9 o'clock on Saturday morning. You're like, well, that's nice, but I'm not.
Look,
Oh
when
my
you are responding
gosh.
to a negative Google review, it's essential to address the issue professionally and empathetically. Now, this 2-star reviewer, I had no issues to be able to address, so that was a bit difficult. But you can begin by thanking the reviewer for their feedback. You can express your regret that they had a less than ideal experience, and then assure them that you take their concerns seriously. And it's super important to avoid getting defensive or starting an argument publicly. So instead, offer to resolve the issue privately, give them some contact information or an invitation to reach out directly. So you show an absolute willingness to be able to talk with this person and resolve their grievance. And this really demonstrates your commitment to customer satisfaction, and it can really help to mitigate the impact of the negative review.
Absolutely. I know a lot of people are suspicious, I guess, of businesses that only have 5-star reviews. I've
Mm,
never kind of understood how that worked, but I kind of do get it. If you've got a couple of slightly less reviews, it means you're human. It means you have made a mistake
yeah,
somewhere. And, because no business is perfect, nobody is perfect.
yeah.
And I think if you have all 5-star reviews, people suspect that maybe that some of them are fake,
Mm. Well,
maybe.
whenever I'm looking for a service, be it a massage or say a cafe, if they don't have a Google page, like tough luck, you probably won't get my business. Um, but yeah, I will look for their Google review and I will read the bad ones first. So I want to know what's the context of those bad reviews. So is it from someone who's just frustrated and they've decided to take things out personally? So my coffee was cold. Maybe you should have said that in person rather than leaving a 1-star review. Go back to that Reddit thread title. Am I the arsehole? Yeah, you are. Or is it for a real reason? And then I look at how the owner has responded to the negative review. So are they polite? Are they conciliatory? Or have they taken the review personally and are out to fight? So how they have responded to the feedback will determine whether I want to spend my money there or not.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Um, I think you have a story for us, David, about some time that one of your therapists that you employed got some feedback.
Yeah, this was really awkward. Um, I wasn't on site at the time. I think I'd gone on a lunch break or whatever, and my therapist saw this person. It was their first time seeing him. He had seen me previously. It was just say he was an interesting character. I can get along with most people, and I managed to get along okay with him as well, but
Mhm.
not my ideal type of person. But a bit of a strange cat. He had chosen to see this other person rather than seeing me. Um, anyway, my therapist treats differently to the way that I do because my therapist isn't me. I'm a very different person. We went to
Exactly.
different training schools and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, he had his massage, and from what I understand, he was quite vocal throughout the massage. Anyway, he's finished up, and he has gone off his nut in reception, and it was all about insufficient pressure. He made a scene in front of other people. He made a scene. The reception was saying it was really awkward. He was so aggressive. And so I sat down with my therapist, and she said, "Look, I'm okay. Not the right sort of client for me, but I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to address him. He was so aggressive in the treatment. So I've called him, and he was downright rude to me. He's like, oh, she was rubbish, and if she was working for me, I'd get rid of her, and blah blah blah." And it's like, which is totally not true because oh, she has her skills and a particular clients that she worked really really well with, and people who loved her. It's just this one person didn't like the way that she treated, and his pressure expectations were unrealistic. But I believe in being conciliatory. I do have a customer service background, and I believe in trying to find a person's sticking point and trying to resolve it for a win-win. So I offered him a session at no cost. Anyway, he was a Reddit thread. Am I the arsehole? He was the arsehole. He was the arsehole. And throughout the entire session, I told him repeatedly that his level of pressure exceeded what was safe for him and was safe for me. So I did refer him to another massage therapist who happens to be a wrestler.
I want to know who that is, David.
This guy has a reputation being very, very firm.
Oh, wow.
And I refused to see this person ever again. He was not to make an appointment with me. He was not to make an appointment with any of my therapists, and that his behavior was out of line. He started out a little bit conciliatory, and then he just got aggressive again, and that's just how some people are.
Oh, that's just terrible, isn't it? Like,
Yeah,
oh, I don't even know what to say about that. That's just awful.
it's just how some humans are.
Yeah, unfortunately, some people are just angry and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
Well, all right, on the back of that, let me tell you a little story about something I've learned over the years about feedback. Many, many years ago, I think it was in 2008 that this happened. I used to be, this is going to out me as some people are not going to like me after this. But I used to be involved in nutrimetics back in the day, and I've always loved that sort of stuff. And so there was one year, I'm pretty sure it was 2008, I went to the Nutrimetics conference that was being held, I think it was on the Gold Coast. And the speaker that they had there, so they always at the conferences, if anyone's been involved in network marketing, you go to the conference, you know that there's some inspirational speakers and it's very uplifting and wonderful. And so the person that they had that year was Terry Hawkins, who's a lady from the USA. And I think I'm going to add in. I did add it to the show notes that we've got, David, but I think I might add it to the show notes for everybody else when this finally goes live. Anyway, so my story about that, this is honestly, as soon as we decided that we're doing an episode on feedback, I started thinking about this. This is how much this affected me. So I'm listening to this lady, Terry Hawkins. She's a dynamic speaker, She's very, very popular in the speaking world. And so she's talking about how, talking to us about how everything is feedback. And one of the things that she says all the time is there are no failures in life, it's all feedback. And I can literally visualize the memory of her telling us different stories about her life and working in the business world and saying, "Oh, thanks for the feedback." It was such a dynamic conference for me. It was life changing, and I'm not involved in Nutrimetics anymore, and I haven't been for a long time. But that event was actually life changing for me in a lot of ways because I learned so much from that. And I think even just that story just goes to show that everything is feedback. It doesn't have to be overly positive, it doesn't have to be overly negative, but you can take every single bit of information on board and use it to your advantage. And that was basically what Terry was saying, that everything is feedback. There's no failures. It's all feedback. You can learn from everything.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Feedback is a gift.
it is.
If someone doesn't tell you, they're probably telling somebody else. That could
Mm.
be good, it could be bad. And how will you ever know if someone doesn't actually say something? I strongly believe, particularly when it comes to negative reviews, that you need to kill people with kindness because your business depends on what happens next. And that person, they might be satisfied with the response. And if they are, congratulations, you've just won a client for life. And if anything, your very next client is going to see your response and judge you on that.
Well, you literally gave the example earlier, David, that you don't book anywhere, you don't go places that don't have Google reviews. They don't have to be 5 star, but you use those to decide, where to eat, where to shop, and
Mm.
I think most of us do that.
If I ever see a review where the owner has come back and has just been downright snarky and rude in their response, so that is totally going to be what my experience is in your shop. And you may have a clientele that likes that, but that clientele isn't me.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm. And
It,
we
it's
often see on Facebook someone just had this response or this review, and they've banged out in anger and frustration. I'm going to leave you an essay about all the things that you're wrong, and it's got dot points and it's got references, and they post it into the Facebook group and say, this is my response," and there'll be a whole bunch of therapists who jump on board and say, "Yes, you should totally say that." No, no, you should
no,
not
don't
say
do it.
that. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
It's
Sit
like
on it.
no.
Like you don't have to respond right away. You can sit on reviews for like a good idea is 24 to 48 hours, but you can sit on them for longer. And you can respond with, especially if it's an incident that's involved an employee or something in your systems that you need to investigate. You can say, okay, look, I've seen this. I'm going to investigate it. I will come back to this tomorrow.
Mm.
It's perfectly okay to do that. But yeah, don't jump in with ah.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yeah. And if someone has left feedback about a staff member, you do need to investigate it with your staff member first. And you
Mm,
need to check in with that person about how this has just happened. Are you okay?
mm. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Um, I think that it is totally okay to apologize, even if you feel that you shouldn't have to. Just saying sorry isn't necessarily taking responsibility or validating that other person. It's just like when you're in a relationship, you may not have realized that you've just ticked your partner off. Or they're just having a bad day and you left the milk out and that was the last straw. So right now, that person doesn't need a fight with you, even if you feel that their feedback was out of proportion to the crime. And I feel that we need to treat our clients with the same level of respect.
Yeah, yeah. And look, a lot of the time it happens that and your relationship with your other the person that you live with or what have you is often a good example, because sometimes you do just need to go away and have a breather, and then if somebody's yelled at you and you think, oh God, like, geez, that was a bit much. They come back the next day and go, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I just was over the top. I shouldn't have said that. It was just so not me. I don't know what happened. That happens with reviews as well. Sometimes people just are having a moment,
Mm.
and it's best to de-escalate rather than
Yeah.
escalate that.
And maybe they
Yeah.
really wanted to tell you something and they just didn't know how to. So instead of saying it to your face, they've decided to leave you a review and say they've got it off their chest. Phew, glad I did that. And
You
you're
know
like, oh
what?
my God.
Communicating well is such a skill
It
that we are
is.
not taught. And anyone that works in retail will know this. People are not taught how to communicate well, and we don't know how to give constructive criticism without taking things personally. I think we've come full circle. We've circled back around to some of the opening comments that we just don't know how to give feedback and accept feedback a lot of the time. So yeah. My honestly, my top tip is that you have to remember that everything is feedback, not just what is, super positive or really negative. You need to take everything on board and not necessarily action all of it, but be aware at least. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. My top takeaway for today is to keep calm and carry on. You don't necessarily know what is going on with another person when they leave you some feedback, and this could be an opportunity to make their shitty day better.
Absolutely. Yeah. So important.
Mm,
Yes.
yeah.
Oh,
We're in an
gosh.
industry of compassion. We should show it sometimes.
Yes, that is so true. An excellent point, David.
All
Well,
right.
another episode.
Done. All right. Don't forget, we have an Instagram page and a Facebook page. Oh, who doesn't? It's some of you are saying. But people talk to us there, and sometimes they leave us messages. Maybe you want to leave us some feedback. Maybe that feedback needs to be a bit constructive. That's okay. We'll listen to you and we will respond to you.
We
Maybe
will.
you've got a question that you would like us to answer in this show. Why don't you tell us what that question is? And in a few weeks' time, you just might see it here with answers to your question.
Yes.
So, yeah, head to Facebook, head to Instagram, look for the Folding Towels podcast. If you are listening to us on Apple Podcasts or on Spotify, please leave us a rating and a review. It actually helps us to get found by other therapists. And if you are listening on any podcasting platform, please like or subscribe to the podcast so that you never miss an episode.
Absolutely. And it is great feedback for us if you share this podcast with your therapist colleagues.
Hooray!
Yay! Thanks so much, David, for another enlightening chat. I hope today wasn't too controversial for everybody.
See you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.